To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So things are getting pretty exciting around here. Yesterday's video I was telling you that we're going to start canning some chicken, and we got roosters that we're going to want to can. We're going to tag our roosters. We got 3 for sure, and Frenchie we're not really sure. This morning Carolyn and I really went down and took a look at Frenchie, and we've decided Frenchie's probably a female based on the tail feathers. We assumed Frenchie was a male simply because it was very aggressive and really could kick the out of anybody in the coop. But it appears that we're going to get blue eggs because it's probably an Americana or Easter egger, whatever you want to call those. So we may get colored eggs. That'd be pretty cool. That's beside the point. The point is we definitely got 3 roosters, and we only want to keep 1. And so we're going to tag them. We're going to put little zip ties around their legs, not too tight. That way we can identify which one we want to keep. Now roosters are really good to keep because obviously we want to breed so we can get more meat chickens. Of course we got our egg chickens. And then of course the rooster's good for protecting the flock also. So we'll get rid of 2 of them. So we'll do that probably in the next month or so, maybe 2. Of course we'll go to town, and if there's chicken or legs and thighs on sale, we'll pick those up and then we'll start canning. But here we got our water bath canner. This is really good if you're wanting to can tomatoes or jelly, anything with acidic. I told you about this yesterday. And so there's the little tray where you can pull your cans out. And the other thing that would be nice is we could like boil the chicken in here. We throw a whole chicken in here, boil it, and then it'll cool off. We'll put the broth and the chicken into a can, and we'll have chicken noodle soup. I told you all that yesterday. So there's the canner in case you haven't ever seen one. Not the pressure canner, but the hot water bath canner. And you can find all these instructions online, how long to water bath tomatoes or jellies, pectin, and all kinds of recipes online. So, but hopefully pretty soon we'll have our canner. It's shipped. Everything has shipped that we need to start canning. We got the cans, lids, and the pressure canner. So hopefully within the next week or so, we can start canning. I know that may not sound exciting, but it is quite exciting. To me, it's food preservation. Of course, I know you've seen the chickens many times. There's Frenchie sitting over there by herself, itself. You can see the roosters, 1, 2, 3, and then spaced out 1, 2, 3 hens. And then of course we got the chicks. Those are New Hampshires. Those are only 7 weeks old, just over 7 weeks old. So we won't get any eggs until November time frame from them. But these guys here, we'll get the eggs from probably in August. That's going to be a huge reduction in cost for our food. I figure that we probably won't have to go shopping until, man, I would say late June. And then I figure late July, and then we'll start getting eggs right around the time we take that second shopping trip. So I would really like to see what that will do for us for shopping. The worst thing we might have to do is go into town and buy some more chicken, legs, and whole chickens, anything real cheap, the cheap stuff that we just boil up and make chicken noodle soup out of. Oh, I wanted to show you, Carolyn's pretty excited that she's already starting to get tomatoes popping up on her tomato plants here. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to break it, but hopefully you can see right there's a tomato. And she says she's got another one growing up over there. Oh yeah, it's right there, I see it. That one's a lot smaller. So her getting an early start on tomatoes this year looks like it paid off. So a couple more months we'll have tomatoes. Now one of the things I learned a long time ago is corn stalk. Not only do the chickens like yellow stuff, but they like the corn stalks also. So Carolyn has been doing this mesh where she takes these seeds from the chicken feed and she puts it in a bottle, puts water in it, and it starts to grow, all these little seeds. And so then she feeds the chickens all that growth. Well, the corn is growing too. Now, my suspicions are if we try to grow that corn, it won't have cobs on it because they hybrid that stuff. Monsanto, it's all hybrid. So hybrids don't reproduce. But if it does grow a stalk, she wants to throw some of that corn out here. It's free. I mean, well, basically free. We had to buy it, but she's going to increase the amount of food that she can get out of chicken feed by planting some right here in this wet area. We'll get some stalks out of it. We can preserve the stalks, you know, put them in a dry spot, let them dry out. And that will give us chicken feed free during the winter. It's like, you know, hay for cows in the winter. So, you know, we're trying to think how we can keep the chickens fed without having to buy a lot of food, just like we're doing for ourselves. How can we keep ourselves fed without buying a lot of food? Now, as you know, I've said many times, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I keep getting all these prepper channels right now popping up on my feed. And I know how the algorithm works, that if you watch one video, you're gonna watch them all. I remember one time I watched this gal, she plays 8 cellos. I mean, she doesn't actually play 8 cellos, but she plays a cello 8 different times and she puts it all together and she can make a whole orchestra. All of a sudden then, YouTube thought I wanted to be some master cello player because that's all I got was cello videos. Now there's a really big female prepper channel who's decided that she is not going to get into all this conspiracy stuff. And she just made a video the other day, and I really appreciate that video. I don't know her, so I'm not going to call out her name. She's decided she's just not going to try to scare everybody into prepping. So she's been doing a lot of financial things and different things, whatever she wants to do, but I agree with her. These preppers, that's all they're trying to do is sell fear. They're not interested in actually prepping. I mean, this one guy I watch, hardly ever does he show prepping information. Now, I understand why. You watch his video views, and if it's, here's how you prep, nobody watches. But if it's, you know, zombies are coming, everybody watches. I've seen preppers talk about alien attacks. There's no limit to how much they can scare you. They're really good at scaring you, and they call themselves preppers. But I did watch a video just a little while ago, and it was doing pretty good. And he was talking about how much canned food you need and how long canned food stores for. But he was talking about buying it at the store. Even when I was a conspiracy theorist, I've said this before in many videos, 15, 20 years ago, I was involved in all those conspiracy theories. I really believed that the planet was going to come to an end. And I was going to be the last man standing. And I thought about how can I continue to grow food? You got to have heirloom seeds and you got to know how to store it. There's this facility down in the Antarctic that preserves seeds. And I knew all about it. And I was like, well, how can I get to Antarctica if the end of the world comes so I can go get those seeds? You know, I thought about all that stuff. But these preppers, they don't seem to think long term for some reason. I mean, one minute they're talking long term and they're buying MREs for the next 100 years for a family of 50. But then they talk about gasoline and they got two cans of gas for their generator. Well, you got to be sustainable and self-reliant. Even without having to worry about the end of the times, you know, that the world's going to come to an end, I don't have to worry about that. I really don't. All I got to do is sit here and enjoy my piece of property because I got plenty of electric, plenty of water. I've got plenty of food, or at least a plan to start producing plenty of food. If you are thinking about prepping channels, stop worrying about the thing that's going to come and get you. Was it a financial crisis? Is it the next world war? Is it the next, you know, alien attacks? Is it the zombies? You know, whatever it is. I said that one time. Somebody in the comment section said, zombies aren't real. You know that, right? Yes, I know that. My point is we don't need to scare ourselves to death to be prepared, because if you're scared, you're not happy. You're not living the dream. So all in one swoop, one punch, one whatever you want to call it, I've got it all. And I'm trying to share it with you so you can have it all. You can have security from all these apocalyptic scenarios. You can have happiness because I get to work, but I don't need to make a lot of money because I'm self-sustaining. Don't have to worry about my retirement because the money I am making right now, I'm not spending because I'm self-sustaining. I got lots of freedom here. I found a spot where they pretty much leave me alone. I don't have to deal with anything. I'm not saying you don't need to watch the prepper channels. If you want to watch the prepper channels, by all means, watch the prepper channels. But the information they're telling you how to prepare, I really do worry that they're not sharing it. I mean, I watched a video this morning where the guy just said, what are you going to do if this happens? Well, I can't even remember what he was talking about. And, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Oh. But instead of saying, here's what you need to do, here's how you can handle that situation, here's what I'm getting ready to do to handle this situation, it wasn't. It was, what are you going to do? Well, why am I watching you if you're going to make me figure it out? I'm not saying you can't figure it out. I'm saying that if you're watching to learn, he's the wrong guy to watch, because the only thing he wants to do is teach you how to be afraid. So last year, I showed you how to build a small house. So you could heat the house for the next 30 years with 1.5 acres of wood. And then I showed you how to hook up solar panels. I've showed you that several times. And just the other day, I taught you how you could start your own solar panel system for $340 to get you started, to get you a step in the right direction. We're starting to work on food. We're raising chickens, and you don't have to be a master chicken grower. Somebody told me the other day, you don't know enough to even start growing chickens. Well, they seem to be doing fine. They're all healthy. They're growing, they're eating, they're fighting. You know, is Frenchie a male or a female? That's the hardest problem I've got right now. Everything else seems to be working out pretty good. And when I don't know something, I can Google it. So I hope I can inspire you to learn how to live self-sustaining. Thanks for watching.